Okay, welcome to the Bhagavad Gita class, session 2. In the session 1, we have covered the introduction, chapter 1, and some part of chapter 2. Chapter 2 is a very big chapter, but we covered more than half of it. Today, we will try to complete the remaining half and then cover chapter 3, and also chapter 4, we'll try to cover most of it. Okay. I will share my screen. I need a volunteer to recite the prayers. And because every time a new volunteer has to pick up and you have to read the prayers. The part of the exercise is that by the end of these 8 sessions, you should be familiar with all the prayers. Let me share my screen. Can I get a volunteer or should I pick it?
I can try.
Okay, that's good. You can all you need to try. Try is enough.
Yeah, I'm going to go slow because
That is
I
fine.
just want to read it slow.
That's fine.
Okay. Om Ajnana Timira Dhasya
తెలియదు.
Jnana Jana Salakaya.
నువ్వు ఇంట్లో అన్నం తింటా అంటే చెప్తే అన్నం పెడతా, నీకు పెట్టలే నేను అన్నం.
Mataji, somebody is not
ఇగో నీకు అవని ఇంట్లోనే తిందామన్నాడు, నేను నా వరకు బ్రౌన్ రైస్ పెట్టుకున్నా.
Deepti Mataji, can you go on mute?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Hey Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Sapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari.
Vrindavaneshwari.
Oh, Vrindavaneshwari, sorry.
Yeah.
Prasabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye.
Beautiful.
Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyase Tarubhyascha Krupa Sindubhya Yavascha Evacha Patitam Nam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
Beautiful.
Next one.
Vinakar recited the...
Yes. You can read the next part of the 4 prayers. Somebody can pick it up. Excellent, Vinaji. Excellent.
Thank you.
Can somebody else read the remaining 4 prayers?
I can try.
Okay.
Please.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale, Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deva Gauravani Pracharine, Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Pasyatya Desatharine. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Very good, Mataji. So let me take 1 minute to explain these prayers. So the first prayer is called a general group pranam. So you are bowing down to your spiritual master who has opened your eyes with the torch of knowledge. Ajnana means ignorance. Timirandasya means the deepest, darkest ignorance. And by applying the Jnana, Anjana means like giving the cream of knowledge. Yeah? You have applied Chakur Numilitam Ena. You opened my eyes. And to that person, I bow down. Saying that. And second pranam is for the Sri Krishna, because he is the original person from whom everything came. He is the original propounder. So we bow down to him also. We're saying that, oh Krishna, you are an ocean of mercy and friend of the distressed. You are the Lord of the universe. You are the Gopesha, means that you are the cowherd boy and you are the Gopika Kant, you are the husband of the Gopikas, you are the husband of Radha. Namostu, I bow down to you. And we are also saying to Radharani with this concert, saying Tapta Kanchana Gara, you are a molten gold, that I like molten gold color, and you are the queen of Vrindavana, and you are the daughter of Rishabhanu, and I bow down to you. Oh, Hari Priya means one who dear to Lord Krishna. And then we are also bowing down to all the Vaishnavas, because we have seen in last class, we have seen that it's Krishna who originated, and there are 4 sampradayas. So we are bowing to every Vaishnava. So we are saying Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo namo namah. It means that I am bowing to all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord, because these devotees are like those desired trees or kamadhenus who fulfill every wish of others and are full of compassion for others. And we are also bowing down to our Sampradaya Acharyas. It came from Lord Krishna to Narada and then to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we are praying the Sampradaya Acharyas, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhara, Srivasadi, Gaura Bhakti, are 5 great devotees of the Lord who were born with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We are referring to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, Gadadhar Pandit, Srivasa Acharya, and Advaita Acharya, all the 5 Acharyas. And then we are also bowing down to Srila Prabhupada, who has carried the mission of these Acharyas. He says, Om Namo Vishnupadaya, Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale, Srimate Bhakti Vedanta, Swaminiti Namane. We are moving our obeisances to Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, who is very dear to Krishna. He has taken shelter of lotus feet of Krishna. We are also saying that bowing down to him, especially because we are in America. Namaste Saraswate Deve, Gauravani Pracharine, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi, Pastyatya Desarine. We are saying, oh Master, you have come all the way to the West to deliver them by giving the mission of Lord Chaitanya, and which is filled with impersonalism and voidism. So we bow down to you. And we are also bowing down to the Hare Krishna. We're calling Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. In the age of Kali, Krishna descended in the form of holy name. Kali Kale Nama Rupe Krishna Avatar. So in the name of Kali, so we chant Krishna name. That means we are invoking Krishna. Okay. And we have read how it is important to be in the parampara. And we have to learn how, by approaching a guru, and how it is important to have faith in them. For that reason, we do these prayers, because our intelligence takes us to some level. But to understand this Brahma Vidya, intelligence and effort is not enough. We need mercy of the Lord. That is why we pray to them to give their mercy to reveal themselves to us. Yes, you have a question? Padmajaji, you have a question?
Sorry, Prabhu, I don't have any question.
No
It
problem.
was unmuted.
So that's the reason why we pray. So I want you to read all these prayers, because you may make effort, only by Krishna's mercy you will understand. A guru may make an effort, only by Krishna's mercy. When he wants to reveal, he will understand. We will see this part in 9th chapter. Krishna tells very clearly. Okay. And let me, before I start,
Prabhuji, I had a question.
yes.
The last 2 prayers, Namo Vishnu Padaya, Namo Vishnu Padaya, where is it in the, I've got the book, but I was not finding it in the book.
No, you will not find in the book, because it's Prabhupada who wrote the book, so he will not write about himself.
Oh, the last 2 prayers, okay.
He will not write about himself. We will write about him, because we are learning from him.
Okay.
Okay. That's why you take it from here and read it.
Okay.
I'm glad you read it and asked the question. Thank you. It's very important you read. Okay. And so yeah, I want to give a 1 minute, 2 minute recap. Somebody want to volunteer? I'll be happy if they want to give the recap, and I can correct if something is not doing something going wrong. But I would like somebody to volunteer to recap. I put the slide here. Somebody can go through that and explain that in 5 minutes. Can you do, Mataji? You just asked me a question. Your ID is showing as Karthik, so I don't know your real name.
Oh, Prabhuji, what do you just want me to read it?
Yeah, you can read and explain in your own words in 5 minutes. Basically, this is only recapping what we covered. It is not a new subject. What we have done last session, I'm giving a 5-minute recap.
Okay.
That we are continuing the session like that. Can you read this? I should make a slideshow. Better.
Okay. So as per the
Yeah.
So this is the Bhagavad Gita is the song of Krishna, which is given by Krishna, and it is to guide us through the life, and it is also to help us to follow our sampradaya, where and also mainly this was when Arjuna was going through the Vishada in the battlefield, with his family not wanting to take any action against them because he had this compassion against towards them, and so Krishna guided him and saying that that compassion should not be wrongly placed, but yeah, I think compassion should not be that compassion should not be misinterpreted, but that we all will die one day and we are going to be born again in the next life based off our karma, so that he should not feel bad about it.
Okay. Good, Mataji. So, very good attempt. Thank you. And so let me. Yeah. So we have discussed. Thank you, Mataji, and really appreciate that. So we have seen the title is conveying the message that Bhagavat means Krishna, God. The indication is Krishna is the God. It is a message of God for us. And we have also seen how Gita is the essence of all scriptures. And we have also seen that we have to accept Krishna as the God, and only by his service can we understand Krishna. Our attempts will be successful only by, because Krishna says that only my devotees can understand me. We have seen last chapter, Bhaktya Mama Bijanati. Only by devotional service can I be known. For that reason, we accept Krishna as a God, and then we try to make attempt to understand Gita. And Gita needs to be learned under the bona fide sampradaya under a teacher's guidance, not whimsically. And Gita is talking about 5 subjects primarily, which is called Jiva, a living entity, Ishvara, the God, Kala, the time, Karma, the action, and Prakriti, the material nature. Of these, except karma, everything is eternal. Only karma is something which can be changed. So the whole focus is what kind of activities do with all these parameters being constant, that they don't change. And there are 4 major paths described called Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. Arjuna is giving in the first chapter 5 reasons why he should not fight the war. One is compassion. Second is he can't enjoy without his own people. Third is you will get sin because by killing people you get sin. And fourth is if people die, there's nobody to guide. So there will be no traditions, no community, nothing will happen. And then finally, because he knows that his duty is to fight, but he's not able to fight, so he's confused. And he gives these 5 reasons for not fighting. And the most turning point is that everybody has problems in life, but Arjuna, he turned to the right person when we have problems. That is the turning point. He didn't turn just to a friend. He turned as a disciple, surrendering unto him. That is the key factor here. Krishna explained him as a friend, but that didn't satisfy him. So he said, I am surrendering. Sharanam Shadimam Tvam Sharanam Prapadhi. He says, I am doing prapatti. That means I am doing that first stage of surrender to you. And I want to become your disciple. And that is when Krishna, as a teacher, he makes extra effort to teach from basics. He repeats again and again same message, and he encourages any number of questions and answers all these questions very patiently. Krishna, as a teacher, will not tell him, do this. Krishna, as a teacher, will educate him to do it right. Krishna asked a question, and we have also seen, to answer the points, Krishna explains how you are thinking you are the body. You're not the body, you're the soul. And there are 2 kinds of bodies. One is called a subtle body, one is called a gross body. Subtle body is made of mind, intelligence, and false ego, which we don't see, but we can perceive. And the gross body is made of material elements, earth, water, fire, air, ether. And besides it, there is a soul. And we have seen the example how the soul in this very body is moving, but the body is changing constantly. Similarly, at the end of the life, if the soul gets a new body, just like we give an old garment and take a new garment, Krishna explained that. And that compassion should not be for something which is perishable. Rather, compassion should be for that point where you are falsely tying yourself to a body and getting entangled into that. So try to have compassion for the soul to elevate yourself from ignorance to knowledge. And secondly, he was telling that your argument that you can win a war, by winning a war you will lose because you can't enjoy. Krishna is saying no. If you win the war, you enjoy kingdom. If you lose the war, you go to heaven. Your argument that I cannot enjoy if my people are not there is falsely placed because you make new friendships. That will not work out. You will make new friends. And we have been doing that in our very life. We have seen our ancestors going away. Still we are happy, we are continuing. And third reason Krishna says is, you are saying I will get sin by fighting, killing people. Krishna is saying, as a soldier, if you don't do your duty, you will get sin. And he also said that you have to establish right traditions. People copy great people. And you have to establish right tradition. You can't put a wrong example and then let people follow that. So you have to do what is right and let people follow that. And then he decisively tells him, if you are asking me what I would do, I'll say, get up and fight. He answers that question. This completed our 2nd chapter till 40th verse. And then we were trying to go into the Buddhi Yoga part of it. That is where we had to hurry up. And then we had to end. So I want to make sure I recap, I get this. This is a very important part. I take my time to explain this. And we have seen that Krishna explained what is soul from 211 to 230, and Krishna explained how one can work. If you don't work, you get sin. If you work in the right way, you will not get sin. He explained that. So we have seen that part. Now Krishna is explaining Arjuna to work with knowledge and detachment as an offering unto the Lord. This is called Buddhi Yoga. And this is also called as Nishkama Karma Yoga. That means that Kama means a desire. Working for a desire in the right way is called Sakam. I'll explain this later. Don't worry if you don't understand. I'll explain very clearly. I have a diagram to explain everything. And he also, Acharya told that Buddhi Yoga is sometimes also called as Karma Yoga, sometimes also called as Bhakti Yoga. Depending on the degree of how much devotion you are putting into it, it could be called as Karma Yoga or Buddhi Yoga. Buddhi Yoga means devotion is there, but the amount of devotion, the degree you put, the terminology changes. I'll explain that a little later. And Krishna is saying that we have to be focused on our goal. Don't work without goal. Everybody has a goal. Your life has a goal. You are taking birth not for the heck of it.
Pay attention to the class. We'll leave later.
Yes. Mataji, can you go on mute? Yeah. So we have to have a goal. Krishna is explaining that part. Goal is very important. If you are goalless, then you will go multi directions. And Krishna is saying that in the Vedas is a very big section of Vedas. Majority, around 90% of the Vedas are talking about those comforts that you can attain by doing things in a prescribed way for your benefit. And people may often get mistaken because that is mentioned in the Vedas, that is my goal of life. Krishna is trying to address that point in the beginning itself. He's saying 90% of the Vedas are meant for your successful journey. They are not your goal. I'll give an example. We take example is, say you are going from Dallas to New York, and if you are going in your car, on the way you'll get a lot of rest areas and exits. Each rest area may offer some benefits. Somebody may offer fuel, somebody may offer hotel to stay, because you can't drive all the way there one day immediately. It'll take some time. So some place you get petrol, some food, some place you get some rest. Different kinds of features are there, but they are given for your smooth journey, so that you take some break, get what you need, so that your journey becomes smooth. So 90% of the way, that's why we see when you go to New York, from here, you have thousands of exits. Majority of features are there, but they are not your goal. They are meant to assist in your goals. That is why there are so many things mentioned in Vedas. But your goal is to use them and go forward, but don't get stick to them. Just because I like a rest area or an exit, because there is some casino, I like that, I want to go there, that deviates from your goal. That's not your goal. Krishna is trying to tell that point very clearly and think that is why focus on your goal. There are impediments in your goal. For that, what you require to satisfy, use that, but not beyond that. Don't make them as your goal, these side benefits as your goal. And then he's saying that for those who are attracted to these comforts, luxuries, or wealth, they will not have this one-point attention. You will not know what your goal is. You get lost. And Krishna has also explained that we are governed by three modes of material nature. We act sometimes in the mode of goodness, sometimes in the mode of passion, and sometimes in the mode of ignorance, because we are governed and controlled by the material nature. Material nature has not only material elements, it has these three natures: goodness, passion, and ignorance. We see that in the morning we are generally in goodness mode. In the afternoon we are in passion mode. In the night we become ignorant. So in ourselves we can see that how modes are changing and they're controlling us. And we have already told majority of Vedas is talking about solving the temporary problems in material nature. This is to make a smooth journey. These are not the goal. So Krishna is recommending to rise above the three modes, understand the purpose, and be focused on the ultimate goal of life. Krishna is also telling all the purposes served by a small well can at once be served by a great reservoir of water. Similarly, all the purposes of Vedas can be served to one who knows the purpose behind him. When you know the purpose of Vedas, we have seen, is to know Krishna. Vedaischa sarvam ahameva vedyo. It is to know Krishna. And then we came to these beautiful words. Everybody knows this. Karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala heturbu mate sangosta akarmani. It is, you have right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. Never consider yourself the cause of the results of your activities, and never be attached to not doing your duty. This is one of the very beautiful statements Krishna is mentioning. People often mistake this. The goal and the result, they are two different things. They consider them as same. Krishna is clearly saying you should work for your goal. Have a goal, work for the goal. The result may come, but the result is not necessarily everything is because of your effort. Result, you don't have much control on the result. I'll take a simple example. Suppose you are studying for an exam. You are studying a subject, I will say that. Say I'm studying 10th grade mathematics. My goal is to completely understand what is given in the book so that I get that knowledge. So I make my every effort to study that. On the day of exam, if you study well, you are likely to get 100%. Is it guaranteed? No. Because on that particular day, when you go to exam, your car may break down or anything can happen. So result is not in your hands. So what you can do is how to focus on what I should do. There are so many external factors which are causing the result. We will see that in 3rd chapter and in the 12th chapter also. 18th chapter, sorry. Your control is limited, but does not mean that result, will I be guaranteed result or not, is not the goal. Am I focusing on the goal is what should drive you, and you should be attached to doing your work, not be attached to not doing your work. Result will come by many factors. So you don't be focused on the result, but focus on the goal. If you lose a focus on the goal, then you will not be able to work properly. This is a very important point. People often think if I don't have a result is not a goal. Goal is different from result. This is very important. Understand this. And then Krishna is explaining him, perform your duty equipoised, abandoning all attachment to success or failure. That equanimity is called yoga. Because if you say that, I may not get this, so I will not study. I may not pass this exam, so I will not study. That's foolishness. If you don't study, you won't get anything. So you do your work, do your duty, what you're supposed to do. Whether you get success or failure, that is called yoga. The balance is called yoga. And Krishna is telling here, very beautiful point. Keep all abominable activities far away by devotional service. And in that consciousness, surrender unto Lord. Those who want to enjoy the fruits of their work are called misers. I want you to focus on these words because this forms the basis for our 3rd chapter. Krishna is saying here that a person can never be idle. Either he does good or bad. The idle mind is devil's den. Rather focus on your duty, do what is right. And here he is saying what is right means devotional service. Because I'll explain that little later. If I tell you now, it will be confusing. Why I'll say devotional service. But do in the right perspective, then you will do it right and you will keep all abominable activities away. Krishna is saying this. And he's saying a man engaged in devotional service rids himself of both good and bad reactions even in this life. Therefore, strive for yoga, which is art of all the work. Typically, we see success comes, we want to enjoy it. When bad things come, we suffer. We pay for pain. Krishna is saying that You do good activity, get good results. That also you are enjoying. You call it enjoyment. You bad activity, you're suffering. They are reactions. They are good and bad reactions. Every reaction is making you go through this pain. But if you are doing your duty as like a banker is getting some cash, receiving some cash. Just because he's receiving cash, does it make him elated? No, he is doing job for the king, the bank. His job is to collect. There is no need for him to elate. Just because somebody bank lost money, he should not worry about it. The bank is working. He is doing his duty for the bank. So you be equipoised and you will get what you need to get. Similarly, you do your duty by doing it right way, then you will be you won't have these reactions for you. Krishna is trying to tell that. I'm trying to give some colloquial example for you to understand. Now we'll come. This is what we covered last time. Now we are going to cover to the today's section. Okay. Now Krishna is saying, by engaging in devotional service to the Lord, great sages or devotees free themselves from the results of work in the material world. In this way, they become free from the cycle of birth and attain the state beyond all miseries. See, what is the goal? He is saying that success may come, failure may come, but the goal is different. The goal is you want to serve the Lord, and that will take you out from the cycle of birth and death instead of all miseries. I'll explain you what all miseries means. All miseries means typically the biggest miseries are birth, death, old age, and disease. They are the real miseries. Nobody can avoid it. Nobody can. These are very common to every living entity. Any species, it's common. Not just humans. It's common for any species. But only in the human species, people have the ability to change that. And that they do by engaging in devotional service to the Lord. What does it mean here in this context? It means that what Lord has said as your duty, if you do that, that has become a devotional service. For example, if your mother tells you to do some work and you do that work, you have not done any devotion to your mother. You have done the work, what your mother has told. That is construed as a devotion to your mother only. Mother will be happy because you did what your mother told you to do. You did your job well. Okay? When a man works with that kind, free from desires of the fruit constantly, he is called a man of steady intelligence. Then the problem comes, then where is the motivation? I am always motivated by the results. What is my motivation? My mother may ask me to get some thing from the shop. I may not be able to go, or I tried to go, but I could not get it. I failed. Because I failed, do I feel sad? No. You will not be succeeding, or you will not be able to get it more. You could do whatever you want. But what is the motivating factor? Is that the bringing the item is your motivating factor, or the motivating factor for you is to please your mother? That should be your motivating factor, not the fact that you want to enjoy the item that you are bringing. The goal is, the motivation should be that I am doing this duty to please my mother or father. That is my goal. That should be a motivation. Here, Lord has given you the work, and do that work. That should be a motivating factor. Okay? Because you are adding the Lord to satisfy him, it is also called Buddhi Yoga. Any questions so far? Please feel free. It'll become very clear. I'll have a diagram. I'll explain most of things. very clearly. Because I want to, in second chapter, Krishna is summarizing everything. And he goes in detail, each and every concept from third chapter onwards. Explain like Krishna is a great teacher. He summarizes first. He gives a introduction first, then takes each topic, elaborates it in detail, compares and contrasts, then again summarizes them. He's a great teacher, Krishna. Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum. Okay, then Arjuna is asking the question, what is the quality? How do I identify a person who has this steady buddhi yoga? How is a steady intelligence? Krishna is answering that you can identify that person by the person who can give up all kinds of material desires that arise in mind and is satisfied in the self as a servant of Supreme. He is said to be sthita prajna or in pure consciousness. How do you identify a person? He does not have any material desire. He is acting only for the satisfaction of Supreme. That person is called a man of steady intelligence. Now, naturally, Arjuna has a question. How does he speak? Arjuna says, how does he speak? What it means is that on receiving praise or blame, affection or hate, how will he react internally or externally? That is what Arjuna is asking when he says, how does he speak? Krishna is replying to that, saying that one who is not disturbed even in the midst of threefold miseries. That means that threefold miseries are called Adi Daivika, Adi Bhautika, and Adhyatmika. What it means is that Adi Daivika means something which is governed by supernatural, say floods or heavy rain, which is nature, which is controlling, which is beyond you, supernatural, which is outside of us. They are bothering you. And then Adi Bhautika means that somebody is coming and hitting you. That is called Adi Bhautika. You are suffering some disease. Is Adi Bhautika. And Adhyatmika means there's nothing physical, nothing anything, but then mentally you are tortured. Somebody is saying something, you feel insulted. There's nothing to hurt you physically, but you feel still trouble. So these kinds of miseries are constantly there. But one who is not disturbed by these three kind of miseries, and he is not elated when there is happiness, and is free from attachment, fear, and anger. And he is unaffected when a good happens or bad happens, because he neither praises nor despises it. These are the qualities by which you can identify a person who has how he responds, in sense, how does he react internally or externally. Somebody, for example, in a colloquial example, when you go out to walk, a dog is barking. Do you care? You don't care. If you start reacting to that, you're worried. It is doing its job, I do my job, I'm doing what my goal is. And like that, this person is not caring for that. He's asking the next question, how does he sit? It means that how does he restrain his senses from sense objects, or how does he control his senses? Because we know historically, senses are very difficult to control. We have seen the examples of great sage Vishwamitra, who was trying to control his senses. Isa Menaka, he was doing tapasya. Sorry. He was doing tapasya. He saw the beauty, he got distracted. That's it, is gone. Then next time he was very careful about that. I should not be disturbed. Then Ramba came. Instead of getting attracted to lust, he became angry, so he cursed her. Again, he lost all his power. Like this will You are trying to make efforts, still they'll distract you. How does he control? He's asking. Krishna is giving a series of steps how one controls. He's giving an analogy saying that one who pulls his senses away from sense objects like a tortoise pulls its limbs under its shell. First is you are making your effort. That is, tortoise, you know that it has the ability to go under its shell by pulling its legs inside. So no matter what happens externally, it is saved. Similarly, saying that first to control your senses such a way that don't look at external things. Don't focus on external things. He's saying that. That is one way. But how much can you do that? And Krishna gives a better alternative. Is that though the embodied soul may be restricted from sense enjoyment, the taste for sense object remains. But seizing such engagements by experiencing a higher taste, he is fixed in consciousness. Supposing I tell you tell your son, don't eat chocolate. He is asking for chocolate. You say, I will not give you chocolate. He'll always think of chocolate. I want chocolate, I want chocolate, I want chocolate. How do you stop that from happening? You have to give him, say, if I see gulab jamun, then he will say, forget chocolate, I want gulab jamun. So give something higher. Because when he experiences a higher taste, then he is easy to give up lower taste. That is what Krishna is saying. You have to take the higher taste. That means give that higher taste, which you are trying to go for some lower taste. You like some taste, you give better one. And then get him lose the one which you don't want him to give up. That is what Krishna is referencing. Param drishtva nivartate. And third, he is saying, even after that, what is that higher taste that you can give? Because no matter what you give, he will hanker for more. That's why Krishna is saying this beautiful verse. Tani sarvani samyamya yukta asita matparaha vasehi yasyendriyani tasya prajna pratishtita. He says that the word matparaha means that upon him. One who restrains his senses, keeping them under full control by fixing his consciousness upon me, is a man of steady intelligence. So he is saying that you have to control senses, for that you need a higher taste, and that higher taste is Krishna. When you put your taste on Krishna, then you usually give up all these things. That is how you control. I'll tell you with example. I've seen so many people. I was in Laguna Beach, and I used to go to temple there. I used to see people who used to come there to the temple. So people who come for food, basically they give free food, prasadam. Free prasadam. They come for a free food and they start tasting the prasadam. And they start eating prasadam. I've seen persons coming with full drug addicts with my eyes. I would never go near them by miles. Those kind of people. They do every nonsense you can think of. Just because it happened to you on the beach, they come there. Somebody is saying, we give free food, come. They come and eat that. What are they doing? They are seeing that people are dancing, people are singing, they're eating nice food. And they started coming again. Coming again. Finally, he said, I like this better. He shaved his head. He started learning, chanting. He gave up all bad habits. All bad habits. And he became a full-time devotee. Transformation occurs from extremes to the extremes just by surrendering unto Krishna, by experiencing the higher taste. The challenge is we don't enjoy the taste. We have to start taking the taste that we have. Then we will say why everybody is able to give up everything and go for this is because they're experiencing the taste. Krishna is telling that. And we'll experience, when you start doing, you will also experience. So, and then Krishna is saying that, Krishna is explaining how one gets degraded if you don't focus on Krishna. Why only Krishna? Why not something else? Krishna tells very beautifully, says that when you don't focus on Krishna, focus on some sense object, like what ads do. They try to make you focus. And then you start developing attachment. And then you want it badly. That's called lust or craving. Not every time you get it. Then you won't get it. So you become angry. In anger, you will be illusion. You can't, discrimination power will go away. And then you forget what is right, what is wrong also. That's when intelligence is lost. People are intelligent. There are a lot of great people, intelligent people, because they focus on the wrong thing. They get attached. And that is why they lose intelligence and they fall down. Krishna is telling very clearly, you will fall down if you focus on those kind of objects. That is why focus on the higher tastes. You will not lose anything. And the example is Bhagavad Gita itself. Arjuna did not want to fight, but he fought. And he had good. Everything was good for him. In our life also, we will see, when we focus on Krishna, we are not stopping our work. We are doing it right way, because of which we will do it perfectly. I think I don't know if I'm going slow. Time is getting running away. I wanted to cover 2 chapters. I'm not doing second chapter completed yet. And Krishna is, Arjuna is asking next question, how does he walk? Means, now that I have sense objects are there, how long can I pull my limbs inside like a tortoise shell? I have to use this in the right way. Krishna is saying, Krishna's reply is that you use them regulatedly. Don't use them indiscriminately, but regulate them in such a way that it is beneficial for you. A medicine is given. If you take in regulated way, it will cure your disease. If you take indiscriminately, it will kill you. Similarly, senses are there. If you use them wisely, that will elevate you. The very senses which can elevate you can also degrade you. That is why put regulation. Krishna is saying that by regulative principles of freedom, one can obtain complete mercy of the Lord. Because you are trying to regulate, you are making effort. You have seen in 240, Krishna said, a little endeavor will protect you from greatest dangers. That effort you are putting here will help you get the mercy of the Lord. Because you are trying to follow what Lord is saying. What happens when you do that? Prasade sarvadukkanam hanirasyopajaayate prasanna chetaso hieshu buddhir paryavatishtate. When one is engaged in that, the threefold miseries of material nature will no longer exist. in such satisfied consciousness, one intelligence is soon established. You will become intelligent. That's why intelligent people are those people who stay calm. They will not be agitated. Because once they agitate you, they know that you will make mistake. Intelligent people will not hanker for a result. They'll hanker, they'll strive for the goals. They'll work towards the goals. They avoid distractions. They work towards goals. They do not work with result in mind. They work with goal in mind. And Krishna is saying that one who is not connected with Supreme, how can he expect he have transcendental intelligence or steady mind? And without a steady mind, there is no question of peace or happiness. So Srila Prabhupada has given us some regulative principles. These are very simple principles. He has given 4 do's and 4 don'ts. What are the 4 do's? They're called no violence. So don't do any violence. Violence you can't avoid completely, but try to do minimal violence. Because as humans, our teeth and everything is designed for vegetarian food. He is saying that control your diet. Second, intoxication. Because intoxicants are those things, they control you. It's not that you are taking them. I'll give you an example. If I take coffee every day, if I don't take coffee, I get headache. Like that. Avoid all kinds of intoxication. And the gambling takes your mind away. Nobody wants to gamble. If you want to invest, study and invest, but don't gamble. And no sex outside marriage. No illicit sex. These are the 4 regulative principles that has been prescribed. Along with which, when you go to a doctor says, when you give medicine, what does he say? Don't eat this, don't eat this, don't do this, don't do this. And then do the following. Like this. We have don'ts. We'll explain in more detail. You are associated with like-minded people. Associated with devotees of the Lord. You go in with people who talk about shares, you want to invest in shares. You want to talk to people who talk about girls, you want to see a girl. You want to talk to people who talk about God, then you want to learn about God. Associate with devotees. Read spiritual literature. Chant the holy names of the Lord. And eat prasada. Prasada means food offered to Lord. This is something I want you to learn. If you don't know anything, learn this verse before eating. Say this verse. Prasade sarva dukkhanam hani rasyopajayate prasanna chetaso hyeshi buddhir paryavatishtate. Prasada means the mercy of the Lord. When you take the mercy of the Lord, we will not have these miseries and your intelligence will be established. Okay. Now, second chapter is over. First 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita are the tough chapters of Bhagavad Gita. The tough. The remaining 6 chapters flow like a music or bhakti. First topics are karma, jnana, and karma, mainly karma. Are very tough. Middle 6 chapters are like song, just beautifully goes, bhakti. Remaining 6 chapters are jnana. So that's why this section is very complex. I'm trying to, this is a multi-dimensional thing. I'm just putting in 2-dimensional like this to get some idea for a pictorial view, to keep that in mind when we read further, to understand what we are talking. Because so much terminology is there, so much of information is there. If I theoretically explain it, then you will not get it. So this, don't take it for the Bible, but this is only two-dimensional. We are multi-dimensional, Krishna is giving. So this is not the complete truth, but it helps you as a tool to understand it. Only take that much. Okay? I want to give you, because we are all more conditioned to the modern world kind of education, I'm trying to put in a diagram fashion to put this. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense for me. So what I'm saying is, assuming you have a baseline, that means you start with zero. You start with zero, some baseline. You're putting a baseline. If you do not work anything, that is called vikarma. That means bad action. Then you will get sins. This first point is, I'm explaining some time here because I can move other things faster. If you don't do your duty, it is called sin. It's called vikarma, means bad karma. Or if you don't do it the way you are supposed to do, then it is also called bad karma. You will get sins. I mean, you go in negative territory. You go in negative territory. This is the baseline. What we are talking is, the Vedic system, 90% of Vedic system is talking about this part, where you have desires. I want to enjoy or get some benefit. This is called karma. Sakama means I want to enjoy. Karma kanda. Sakama means I want to enjoy something. So majority of the Vedic section are dealing with this kind of stuff. When you do this, you won't get sin. You are enjoying. But you will not be liberated. That state is higher. The pass mark is higher. You still have to get temporary enjoyments. You still have to take birth. You still have to take death, old age, and disease. They will bother you. You may go to heavenly planets. You have to come back. If you do bad things, you go to hellish planets. The karma. If you go to good things, you go to higher planets, or you get better benefits in this world, but they get consumed. It's called sakam. Krishna is asking you that this is not going to take you to the path of liberation. It is good. At least you're a step better. But follow nishkama means without desires. Work without desires. Then, when you work without desires, that will elevate you to further higher stage. That alone is not sufficient for your liberation. Because you think that I am the one, I am doing everything selflessly. That mentality is there. That ego mentality is there. That means you are not in knowledge yet. Because you are not the only doer. We have seen this example. When I want to write an exam, I may study very well, but my car may break down. Or by mistake, I may get a wrong paper. Or my pen may not work. There are so many external factors. So you realize that you are not the only doer. When you get to understanding that point of time, you are eligible for basic liberation. There are three kinds of liberated states. One is called Brahman. One is Paramatma liberated. One is called Bhagavan related. This is like a ray of sun. Sun is there, sun god is there, sun surface is there, sunlight is there. This is called sun rays kind of liberation. Definitely, it is liberating you from miseries. It takes you there. This is the first path. This is path of karma. All this is grouped under the path of karma. There is something called Gnana part. I'm explaining you all because then my explanation further becomes easy. Otherwise, it will go over the head. In the Gnana part, the expectation is that the person has to have a basic level. The baseline has moved from here to here for him. Now, this guy, in the Gnana part, if he desires, he gets in. Unfortunately. This guy, if he desires, he's falling here. He's not getting sin because he's above the baseline. But this person who has taken the path of sannyas primarily, he has given up all work. If he thinks of anything to desire, he gets in. Whereas he is already, if he follows that, he is already in higher path. That is the path of knowledge. He also gets to the stage of Brahman realization. There is a dhyana path. This is called yoga path. Ashtanga yoga, we see, right? In the initial stage, they said, you work, follow rules. Yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara. Yes, all these kind of things you do. In that state, work. In the advanced state, probably you can give up. But this one, in these two models, God is taken as a support system. God is not the goal. God is taken as a support system. That's why it's called karma. This is gnana. In this path, they take the Paramatma. That means that localized aspect of the Lord in the heart, as they go to meditate upon him. That is why they can get to Brahman and Paramatma. They don't get that sin easily because they fall here. Because this is the fundamental basis on which Krishna is speaking. Otherwise, you'll say, what is this he is saying? Arjuna is confused. And the last one is the Bhakti Yoga. The beauty is that even if you are fall down, if you take to this path, you can go up, up, up. You can get to Bhagavan realization. That is that I don't want a misery. That is good. Not having a misery does not mean you're happy also. You want a relationship. You need two people to enjoy. Reciprocal. So the Lord, who can take the form of impersonal, can also take a very localized aspect, can also reciprocate as a person, as Bhagavan. And you get that realization. You can get all three realizations, and you can be a part of Lord's associate and rasa or mellows with him. That is the beauty of bhakti. And Krishna is saying, only by devotional service can you know me as I am. Otherwise, you will know me partially. If you take any other path, you will know me partially. But this path, if you look at it, this becomes a ladder. If you look at it, this becomes a ladder. You can go like this, ladder path. It can be a ladder, or it can go individual path, or you can take an elevator path. Is this clear? Because this forms the fundamentals for me to move forward. Unfortunately, I will take more time. I don't know if you have time for this. I am already 12:06. But okay, I will, because we covered the basic, this is the fundamental. This is the fundamentals. If you understand this, everything becomes much easier. Otherwise, it will go over your head. With that, I'll go forward. Any questions so far? Try to have this picture in mind. It's not a Bible, but understand this to help you. Because it's only two-dimensional. We have material energy, material nature coming. God is playing nature. And time is playing in nature. Everything is coming into picture, multi-dimensionals. They all play different roles. Okay? Let me move forward. Now, Arjuna is asking in 3rd chapter. Remember I told you, Krishna said initially, oh Arjuna, get up and fight. And then 2014, we said that keep all abominable things by devotional service. Arjuna says that one way you told me to fight, other way you are telling me that by devotional service, Buddhi Yoga is good. What is that you are telling me? I'm confused. Tell me what is right for me. These questions are checkpoints for our understanding. Arjuna Krishna never said stop work. Arjuna is thinking that devotion service means take sannyas. So Krishna is replying, Arey Baba Arjuna, I told you two paths. The path of knowledge or Sankhya and the path of Karma Yoga. The thing that you are not the body is the path of knowledge. The fact that you are supposed to work, Buddhi Yoga is path of action. It's not a path of inaction. He tells that you are mixing up two things. He's saying that. And he says that, sorry, I'm going forward. Yeah, sorry, yeah. Two paths. He's saying, don't assume that just by not working, you become free from reaction. Because we say that if you don't work, you get vikarma diagram. Right? He said, by not working, you're not getting reaction. No, you're getting a bad reaction. Krishna is saying that by not working, don't think you're free from reaction. Just by renunciation does not mean you become great. Perfection will not come. Krishna is trying to address that. And you are forced to work no matter what, because you are under the control of material nature. The three modes, mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance, force you to work. Suppose a drunkard is there. Nobody is there, you can drink. He will drink it. He's conditioned for that. Like this, we are forced to act because we are under the control of material nature. Krishna is saying, you may think that I am not acting physically, mentally. If I think of that, contemplating it, you are called a pretender, you are a hypocrite. On the other hand, make sincere endeavor by controlling senses, by mind, and begin to work. Then that is by superior. Krishna is saying this. Now this makes sense, right? If you see the diagram, this makes sense. Because by not working, you are making sin. And you are forced to work. So work in a way what is prescribed. Krishna is saying, everybody prescribed, say, therefore do your prescribed work. Doing so is better than not working. You can't maintain your body if you don't work also. Forget other things. And how work should be done? Work should be done as yajna. Yajna tat karmano. Anyatra lokoyam karma vandanaha. Work has to be performed as a sacrifice unto Lord Vishnu. Otherwise, work will bind you. Let me go to the diagram again. If you work, don't work for the pleasure of Vishnu. You work for yourself. You are not getting sin, but you are bound. You are going to take birth again and again. Krishna is telling that. And why Bhagavad Gita manual? Krishna, in the beginning of creation itself, when I created human beings, all kinds of things, I have designated the works. What everybody has to do. And he says that you have to appease demigods. If you want something material, you pay demigods for temporary things. There are some prescribed procedures. You want to appease me, there are some procedures. Like the different procedures are there. He says that. But you want to enjoy yourself, then you are a thief. Say, I work for government, they give me salary. If I don't pay tax, am I a sinner? Yes. You are doing your duty, they have given the benefits, still you have to offer something back as an amount of tax. Otherwise, you are making sin. Krishna is trying to tell that. And he says that if you don't offer back to God and take it, you are eating sin. The devotees of the Lord are released from all kinds of sin because they eat food which is first offered for sacrifice. Otherwise, who prepare food for personal sense enjoyment verily eat sin only. That is why it's important to say prasada means that the food, when it's cooked, it's called bhoga. Somebody to enjoy that. When you offer it to God and He gives back, that becomes prasada. Bhoga is food that is not offered to Krishna, not before offered to Krishna. It's called bhoga. Krishna should be the enjoyer. You give it to him. When he takes it and gives you back, and take that as prasada. That will, we saw that how prasada will make your intelligence better. That is why we'll take one lesson from here is, when we work, whatever we eat, we'll offer it to Krishna and eat. Simple things in our life. But saying is very simple. What does Krishna like? You give what Krishna likes, not what you like, right? It's okay to give what you like, but ideally you want to treat your guest, you give what he likes, not what you like. But better than not giving anything, so at least what you like also, at least give it to Krishna and then you take it. That's better. Okay. And he says that there is a cycle chain. I don't want to take time. I want to give time for questions. I'll pause here. I can continue because remaining 6 chapters are go like a ocean. Like it's very easy. The conceptually, you already got the concept. In terms of, I'll explain the concept through these verses. But the diagram, if you understand that, that is what we are trying to address here. Krishna is trying to address here. Arjuna is trying to avoid the work. Krishna is saying you should work, but with the right perspective. I'll explain that. I want to give some time for questions here. Let me know if anybody has questions. And there are some people who are not able to join because they're traveling or so. I will share the recording for them. And please feel free to ask questions, and it's important we should be interactive. And our subject is a lot. I want to make sure I get you most of the subjects, so I'm not able to give much time for interactions. But I really want you to ask me questions and I should be able to answer them.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, can you open that slide where Krishna talks about how we, from attachment, how it will end up, how we'll get anger and anger to bewilderment, and then this one. So how do we control our senses in the first place, Prabhuji? So if we are so much attached to some sense objects, that's where when we develop attachment, and then we develop lust for it, and then anger, then illusion. So it all starts from attachment towards the sense objects. Let's say we are so much attached to food, or we are so much attached to watching movies.
Right. That is why Krishna is saying, how do you say it? First is control the senses, like tortoise. Second is by experiencing a higher taste. Third is that higher taste is Krishna. So you want to have enjoyment. When you go to temple, typically when you go to Sunday evening temple, what do? You meet people, devotees. They sing songs, you dance, you eat food. If you want to party outside, what will you do otherwise? You will also go, call gathering. You will not enjoy yourself, right? You need some people to enjoy, right? Probably you put some beer or something like that. Eat some nonsense. But here eating prasadam. You will watch some dance movies or some dances or something like that. Here you're also singing. You're also happy. Activities are not changed. The direction has changed. You added Krishna into element of Krishna has been added into it. You are giving it a higher taste. The simple example, the best example is, try practicing this for 10 weeks. 1 week, don't do it. Then you will know, do something else, what you are doing today regularly. You will see, I don't want this, I want to go there. That is called higher taste. Why are people giving up things and going there? They don't want, because there's so much taste. You're not getting the taste. That's why you're having this problem. That is why add Krishna. Start offering prasada. Today, if you ask me to eat outside food, it is not offered to Krishna. One day, if I eat, my consciousness changes. I can say, what is this happening? Why am I this like this? You have to, this is not a theory, you have to experience it. If somebody says this is a bottle of honey, you sneak from outside, will you get the taste of it? No. If you have a Bhagavad Gita book in the house, will you get taste of it? No. You have to open it, read it, experience it, then you will enjoy it. That is why the formula Prabhupada has given. Associate with devotees. Read the books. Eat prasadam. Okay? Those higher tastes, if you don't add, if I ask you to give up bad taste, then you will not make progress. I have to stop bad things and get a higher taste, more important. It is very important. I can't stop ask my say my child that don't eat chocolate unless I give something better to him. Does it clear a question, Prabhuji? That is why Krishna is saying, don't focus on the what you don't focus. Senses are there. Regulate them. A doctor's knife can be used for cutting, killing people, or can saving people also. A doctor uses regulatedly. It is saving people. A very knife, if unregulatedly used, it kills people. Senses are given for a purpose. They are not bad. They are your tools. If you don't have the eyes, you can't see God. If you don't have the ears, you can't hear about Krishna. So you have to use your senses in the right ones, not on those things which is dragging it away. Does it help, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Very good question. Very good question. Really appreciate asking the question. Anybody else? Any question? I know I didn't cover a lot because the topic is so deep, and I want you to get it, because once you get this topic, everything becomes easy. I can move forward, but what is the point if you don't understand the basics? Typically, when you don't understand your formulas, then no amount of the problem solving will help you. You would understand the basic principle. See, I don't mind extending the sessions further, but if those interested. But my goal is you should understand, because this is human life, very rarely obtained. Out of 8.4 million species of transmigration, we get rare human birth. And human birth is the only time we can escape this clutch. The karma is the one which can change only in human birth. The animal cannot change its karma. Nobody can change their karma. They are executing the karma. Only in human birth can you change that and get out of it. That is why human birth is envied even by gods. Okay?
I have a question,
Yes.
Prabhuji, Krishna. Mostly from last class. Where is the reference? I'll share two questions and I'll let you answer.
Yeah,
Where is Advaita mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita? There is the word Advaita in a prayer also, but I'm curious to know where it's mentioned
the
in
word
the Bhagavad
Advaita,
Gita.
yes, the word Advaita here refers to, Advaita has two meanings. I'll tell you, Advaita that we are chanting is called Advaita Acharya, a personality who came in our Sampradaya. He is a personality 500 years back. He prayed for the Lord to appear to distribute this love of Godhead by offering Ganges and a tulsi leaf to Lord. Because of whose prayers, the Lord appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and distributed. We are praying to that personality when you say Advaita. Okay? The other Advaita that you are probably asking is, Dvaita means two.
Right.
Advaita means non-duality.
Right.
One. That is called Advaita. There is different philosophies called Advaita, Dvaita, Vasishta Advaita, and there is and there are many philosophies, different philosophers have put it. Okay, and I will try to answer by 15th chapter all your questions. I tell you that it's premature for you.
Thank you. My second question is last class you said everything is a manifestation of Krishna's energy. Then why is there evil and darkness?
Everything is manifestation of Krishna. Yes. But what will you? Krishna is a repository. You can pick anything you want. Yes. What angle you want to look at Krishna is also matters. Krishna says in 10th chapter, I am Rama. I am a gambler also. I am the cheater of the cheats. If you start playing Krishna as a cheater of cheats, you want that kind of Krishna who will cheat you? Or you want Krishna as a Kala, time I am, I destroy everything. You want to play Krishna like that? Krishna will reciprocate. Demons are doing that. Devotees will not. We want pleasure. Everything comes for Krishna, but Krishna uses it rightly, we use it wrongly, unfortunately. Anger is good. Anger is good when applied rightly. Like knife is good when applied rightly. Everything is good when applied right. When you apply it wrong, it becomes bad. Krishna is never asking you to stop any of those things. Use it wisely, regulatedly. Suppose somebody, a child is doing wrong. You have to express anger so that he stops that. You're not really angry at him. You're showing the anger so that he fears you. Stop that. That is not wrong. Mother Rishabh became angry by taking a stick to Krishna. That is not wrong. You want to set it right. The goal is right. The attitude is right. Senses are bad if you talk like this. No. Advaita philosophy you're talking. Some people say that you are not the body, so don't use the body. If you don't use the body, you get sin. Everything is given for a purpose. We have to use everything in service of Krishna. Anger. Everything can be used in attachment. Attachment is, I'm showing here attachment, right? Attachment on material thing is bad. Attachment on Krishna will take you, elevate. Lust is bad. But when the lust means enjoying for yourself is called lust. When you put that for Krishna, it became love. A very lust became love. The definition of lust changes to love. Taking 180 degrees opposite, changes. Everything, there is nothing called bad. You have to use it wisely. Does it help?
Yes, Swami. Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
You feel free to ask questions, not just don't limit yourself, because the whole point is, Krishna is explaining is to clear any doubt. If we keep our doubts, we will not make progress. Krishna, after explaining the entire Gita, says that, are your doubts clarified? If not, I am ready to repeat Gita entirely again.
Mhm.
Krishna is the teacher here. You are supposed to ask questions. Asking questions is the most wonderful thing a student can do. And he should do that with the mood of receiving the knowledge. Very impressive. Thank you for asking the questions.
Prabhuji, I had a question on the same topic of senses. So like if you're saying that all the senses that we have, if we regulate them and we offer it to Krishna while we are doing it, like even like for example, watching a movie, and we offer it to Krishna, that would be like love towards Krishna, and then we can still watch the movie.
Yeah. What kind of movies you watch then? If you love Krishna, you'll watch Krishna movies. You watch a Bollywood movie? Are you watching Bollywood movie for Krishna or yourself?
For myself.
No, that makes a difference. When you say love, love means you're doing for their pleasure or to know about. You love your child, you see his pictures, you not see somebody else's pictures. Does it help? Yeah. So we should work for Krishna means that, yes, I'll give a more practical example than that. Cleaning the house. Cleaning the house is part of your duty to clean the house. Now, what is in it for Krishna? You may say that, right? You say that this house is Krishna's house. I'm cleaning it now. That act of work, cleaning, has become devotional service. This is my house. I will clean it because I want to be neat. We can make gratification. Every act that you do, you add element of Krishna in the sense that not Krishna as an excuse, put him as the object of your love, and then you work. That very act becomes act of devotion. Act is there, but the act becomes act of devotion that will elevate you. I am cooking. I have to cook. I have to eat. If I don't eat, I will die. I will cook for the pleasure of Krishna. I'll offer it to Krishna and I will eat it. I am only eating it because I added Krishna. Arjuna cried, but he cried before becoming yoga. Like the example. Similarly, when we do our activity, why am I teaching Bhagavad Gita? What is there in for me? Will I get any money? No. Because this act pleases Krishna. That's right. Simple. Everything what we do has to have a goal. Keep Krishna, add Krishna, make him your family member. That is why we say devotional service is that where you add as a person, where you can reciprocate. 12th chapter in the 5th verse, he says that when you worship Krishna in an impersonal form, is klesha. It means that you don't give miseries. So is that also. When you worship him as a person, you can relate and you can go in that mood and that will elevate you. Very important. That is why I don't want to get into those Advaita at this point of time. We'll explain that 12th chapter when you get that. And we'll explain that. But understand this. Everything is Krishna. Nothing is wrong. They are right. This is right. Is Shankaracharya wrong? Is he wrong? Everybody is looking at different lenses. Krishna is everything. Krishna is everything. Okay? Excellent question. Any other question, please? I love questions.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Prabhuji,
Krishna.
I had another question about the verse Karmanyeva Adhikaraste.
Yes, Prabhuji.
There, in that verse, Krishna says that you are always allowed to do the prescribed duties.
Mm-hmm.
But what are these prescribed duties, Prabhu? The prescribed duties that were mentioned in Vedic literatures are very different, like Brahmana, Kshatriya. Nowadays, we don't even know how do we identify ourselves to that particular caste or particular system. So
Yes,
what should be our prescribed duties?
I should have covered that topic today, but unfortunately, because of lack of time, I could not cover. Here is where Krishna is saying, I created the three kinds of Chaturvarna Maya Srishtam. I created the four varnas, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shuddha. Guna, Karma, Vivaka, by the kind of activities they do and what kind of gunas they are in. Not by just birth. He said, by qualities and actions. Krishna has said that. So, the fact that in this point, Krishna makes it very clear. Krishna makes it very clear for a purpose. We interpret wrongly, it's our problem. But Krishna is defining it right. Because if you want to take a first come, first served for a doctor's seat, who doesn't have eligibility, will you go to the doctor? Suppose I offer seats, whoever is first come, first served. Doctor seat. Will you go to the doctor to treat yourself? Or you want to go to a doctor who is well qualified, who knows subject, who has an interest in the subject? So it is important that according to your tendencies, your gunas, you are described, but that is given. Krishna says that. But what kind of duties you have? Krishna takes two kinds of duties. Swadharma and Parodharma. Mean that what you are supposed to do in your current situation, what you are supposed to do always, no matter what situation it is. But Krishna also says that when you do the Parodharma, he takes care of the Swadharma part. That is in the 1866, Krishna is saying that. So there are two verses which are repeated in Bhagavad Gita twice. One is Shreyan Swadharmo Vigunaha Paradharma Swanushtitat Swadharme Nidanam Shreyaha Paradharmo Bhayavaha. Do your prescribed duty, not others' duties. You'll see that. That's first question. Second is Manmanav Madbhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru Mame Vaishatyantya Pratijana Prayosime. This is the second verse he repeated twice. That is the Parodharma. That means you cannot give up Krishna for anything else. When you take care of Krishna, Krishna is promising you that whatever you are lacking, I'll cover it. So don't worry. What you're doing is right. You are rightly placed. Your duties, Krishna explains that different kinds of duties. If you look at the 4th chapter, Krishna defined different types of duties for different kinds of people. As a brahmachari, you have to give a hearing as your sacrifice. As a grahastha, you have to send objects in sacrifice. If you are in this varna, what kind of sacrifice you have to do? Krishna is described in the 4th chapter from around 20th verse to 30th verse. Read that. I'll give you answers.
Sure, Prabhuji.
Okay, Prabhuji?
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Right. Any other question? Great question, Prabhuji. Okay, if you don't have questions, thank you all. I'm sorry I couldn't cover, but I will try to cover, make it up, because we got the concept. I hope you got the concept clearly. And I will share the full slide. You read this, so that next time when I explain it much faster, we can go. And things will go much faster now, because the most difficult part is to understand this structure, what is this, what is that, and then we can cover it faster. Okay. Thank you. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Bhagavad Gita. All glories to all the devotees. I have to stop the recording.